When I was 10 or 11 years old, I watched something I love with my whole heart get ripped away from me. I didn't know it then, but that moment shaped the way I loved, connected, and protected myself for years. This is not just a story about a dog. This is a story about what happens when a child experiences loss before he has the words to understand what loss is doing to him on the inside. And maybe, as I tell this story, it will help you recognize something in your life too. I grew up in rural Kentucky, and when I was young, this dog showed up out of nowhere. I named him Puppy. I know that sounds simple, but to me at this age, this dog felt like a gift that came from nowhere. He followed me everywhere. He played with me. He stayed close to me. He protected me. There was something about this dog that felt almost impossible to explain. It felt like he could read me. I could point, move my hand, look a certain way, and somehow he seemed to understand me without any real training. At that age, when something shows you that much attention and loyalty and that much connection, it gets into your heart. I loved that dog with everything I had in me. And people noticed. Kids around me noticed too. They could see that this dog was different with me. He was attached to me and he protected me. And looking back now, I think some of them were jealous of that connection. One day, we were out in the field playing and one of the neighborhood kids got mad because Puppy would not let him get close to me. The dog was guarding me. He did not trust this kid. So the kid picked up a stick and started hitting Puppy in the head with it. I started yelling at him to stop. I kept telling him to quit, but the more I yelled and the more tense everything got, Puppy got more defensive and the kid kept pushing it. Then Puppy finally did what any living thing would do when it was being hurt. He defended himself. He snapped at the kid and barely broke his skin on the thumb of his hand. It was not some vicious attack. It was more like a scratch. But it scared the kid and he dropped the stick and ran off. As soon as that kid was gone, Puppy came right back to me. He was calm again, loving again, right beside me like nothing had changed between us. And in my young mind, I thought, okay, maybe that is over now. Maybe that kid will leave him alone. I went home. Puppy followed me back like he always did. I went upstairs to my room to change clothes. Maybe 30 minutes went by. Then my sister came running up the stairs yelling, "Do you know what's going on outside?" I said, "No, what are you talking about?" She said, "The dog catcher is here and he's dragging your dog away towards the truck." I ran down those stairs as fast as I could. And when I got outside, I saw it. Puppy was being pulled and dragged towards the truck. He was scared. He was fighting. He did not understand what was happening. And I did not understand either. All I knew there was something that I loved with my whole heart was being taken away from me, and I could not stop it. I was angry in a way that I did not know how to handle. I was a child, but in that moment I felt like someone was tearing something out of my heart. My mother told me to go upstairs and leave it alone. She said she would explain it to me later. But at that age, there was no explanation that made sense to me. I went upstairs and slammed the door, and I can remember grabbing one end of the bed and slamming it into the floor over and over. I was not just mad, I was heartbroken. I was powerless, and I was confused. I did not have the language for trauma. I did not understand emotional wounds. I did not understand one moment could write something into a child's nervous system. All I knew is I loved something and it was being ripped away. Years went by and I did not realize what that moment had done to me. I went on with life. I had relationships. I cared about people. I said I loved people, but something inside me had changed. Some part of me had made a quiet decision that day. If I love something with my whole heart, it can be ripped away from me. And if that is true, then the safest thing to do is to never love anything that deeply again. I did not consciously know I'd made that decision, but my life started showing that pattern. I could be present physically, but not fully present emotionally. I could be in a relationship, but some part of me would stay guarded. I could care, but not fully surrender. I had someone even close to me say, "Wes, you say you love me, and you're here physically, but you're not really here emotionally." At that time, I didn't understand what she meant. Now I do. Through meditation, reflection, and what I call invisible greatness, that memory came back to me in a way that finally made sense. It was like something inside me showed me the hidden pattern. That little boy did not just lose a dog. That little boy learned a lesson about love. He learned that loving deeply was dangerous. He learned that attachment could lead to pain. He learned that if something mattered too much, it could be taken. And so, without even knowing it, I built protection around my heart. That is what invisible greatness is about. It's about finding the hidden places inside us that we're still running our life. It's about uncovering the moments that shaped us before we had maturity, the language, or the support to understand them. Because sometimes the thing holding us back is not who we are. It is what's happened to us before we knew how to process it. And maybe you've had something like this too. Maybe it was not a dog. Maybe it was a parent, a relationship, a death, a betrayal, a divorce, a friendship, a moment where somebody walked away, a moment where something you loved was taken before you knew how to carry the pain. And maybe part of you made a quiet decision too. Maybe you decided, I'll never trust like that again. Maybe you decided, I'll never need anyone like that again. Maybe you decided, I will never let myself be that vulnerable again. And now, years later, you may not even realize that old pain is still making decisions in the background of your life. If that is you, I want you to know something. I see you, and I do not say that lightly. Sometimes people are not cold, they are guarded. Sometimes people are not incapable of love. They are protecting a wound they have not yet named. Sometimes people are not distant because they don't care. They are distant because somewhere along the way, caring too much became dangerous. And if something in you has been shut down for years, that does not mean you're broken. It may even mean there's a younger part of you that is still trying to protect you from feeling something you never wanted to feel again. But here's what I'm learning. What protected us at one stage of our life can imprison us in another. The guarded place may have helped you survive the pain back then, but it may be also keeping you from the love, connection, and peace and fullness we were meant to experience now. Invisible grace and greatness is not about protecting or pretending the pain didn't happen. It's about bringing light to the hidden place. It's about asking, what happened to me that taught me not to fully live, fully love, fully trust, or fully show up? And since we can see the pattern, name the pattern, and bring the truth to the pattern, it does not have to keep controlling us from the background. So here's one thing I want you to sit with today. Ask yourself this question. What happened in my life that may have taught my heart is not safe to fully love, trust, or be open? Do not force the answer. Do not judge what comes up. Just sit with it. Write it down if you need to. Let yourself notice what memory, feeling, or pattern rises to the surface. Because sometimes healing starts with fully seeing what has been hidden. If this story speaks to you, leave a comment and just write, I understand. You do not have to explain your whole story unless you want to. Just writing those words may be enough to say, something in me wants to hear this. Something in me heard this. And if you know someone who's been guarded, shut down, or afraid to love deeply again, Share this with them. It may help them see something they have not been able to name yet. That's it for today. If anything I've said has landed for you, let me know in the comments. I do read them. And remember this, there may be more inside of you than the pain has allowed you to see. I love you, take care, and I'll see you next time.